Alright, how's it going everyone? Today we're going to be talking about contact forms, like lead generation forms, all the different form types you can put on your website. Even survey forms and using other forms to even collect payments as much so. And so today we're going to be focusing on putting those, what are they, how we get them on our website, and what are the best applications to use them. We'll primarily be focusing on WordPress development today, but I'll also briefly talk about how you can use it on other websites too. Alright, well welcome, I'm Kurt. You can find me at kurthamel.com. You can find all my previous posts and videos there as well as my other stuff. But yeah, I'm from Detroit, Michigan. I primarily do website design and optimization like SEO and online marketing. So thanks. Yeah, let's get into this. So what are these contact forms or survey forms and all that? So basically, they're a little bit of coding you can put on your website that allows people to give you stuff like their name and their email. So they can be added to either your list or reach out to you depending on how you're using these different forms and how we set them up. So first, let's talk about contact forms. Simply, a contact form is a space on your website. I like to make them as simple as possible where someone can put like their name, email, and a little message blurb about what they're trying to contact you for to help contact your business. It takes a whole step out of them having to click on email, go to their email like Gmail inbox, and then sending you an email. They can just contact you directly on page. So I like doing that. Just makes it even easier for them to quickly contact you. And I always advise people to, just keep it simple. I only do name box. I don't even do first and last name for my contacts. I just do, after that, email a little bit, and then a message box. I don't even do a subject box. I don't even think that's necessary. I like to keep it as simple as possible so people can contact you as easy. You don't want people, getting frustrated and leaving. I see some people's contact forms where it's like first name, last name, email, birthday, favorite zoo animal, drop down box for 50 different choices, like overwhelming the user. And then they're not even going to use your contact form at all because it's just overwhelmed by the amount of choice. Like they want them to schedule the exact hour on that little box instead of just, just send an email. Unless you're a large corporation, if you're a smaller business, you're not going to get 10,000 a day where you're going to have to worry about this. But if you are large, there's a lot of automated services we can also talk about that go along with these. But beyond that, so beyond contact forms, you can use these for lead generation too. So like lead generation is really, you're trying to get that email address, maybe give something away for free with it. So you're like, hey, if you give me your name and email, sign into this little form here, I'm going to email you my free 10-step solution to your problem. And they will give you their email and name. And then bam, you have their email to add your email list. Make sure you let them know that you're adding that too. And you send out a little PDF or whatever your free giveaway thing is, whatever that enticing little bit is. But you can also, distribute surveys with that info. You can also create forms for collecting payments. That has to be a little more secured. But a lot of payment systems will give you that coding to implement on your website as well. Things like PayPal and stuff like that. And credit card charges and stuff like that. Whatever payment system you use, normally they will help you out with implementing that onto your website. But make sure you have HTTPS for that, so you're protecting your users' credit card information as well as other stuff. But yeah, mostly today we're going to be talking about WordPress applications. So, like my favorite, probably 2 or 3 WordPress plugins for that kind of stuff are, number 1 probably is WordPress forms, WP forms. They're great, really simple to use. I'll show you guys that in a minute. After that, Pirate forms, that's made by the people of Themile that make Hestia and a few other themes that I really like and I push a lot. I use them a lot. But they're integrated really well with Themile's themes. They work really well and normally on their front page. So even if you do, so I use kind of a cross between Pirate Forms and WordPress and WP Forms for a lot of my websites. You can integrate them all. And also another one, if you're not interested in either of those two, is Ninja Forms, which is like a freemium one. They've got basic stuff, and so is WordPress Forms. Pirate Forms though is free, so it's kind of great. It's freemium too. I'm sorry, but for general, you can kind of code it a little more. So let me show you those really quick. So first off, screen capture. So yeah, first we got thought it was already there. Pirate Forms, which is just your general WordPress forms. They look good. I would not say they're a little harder to use, but you can do a little more custom coding with them. The WP forms to do. They don't have all like the Mailchimp integration and stuff like that unless you use the Pro. But still, it's a pretty good basic form if you just really are trying to get someone for a contact form, especially. It's great. Yeah, most of the free ones are great for contact forms. Not so great for all the other stuff like payments and stuff like that, or like your mail integration and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just pretty easy to use. You know, themeisle.com. I really recommend them. They do great themes and great plugins and everything. But yeah, you can see over here, it just integrates right in with WordPress. You just type in the shortcode after you've installed in WordPress, so it's pretty easy to type in. And you can see the different fields and stuff like that. But yeah, I use this one for my general contact form, I think on my front page, but then for everything else, because it's built in with the Hestia theme, and I think it's just good for a general contact form. For other stuff though, I tend to use WordPress forms, WP forms I mean. I just say WordPress forms, WP just. But it is pretty great. You know, little bear dude, they do a lot of stuff. But yeah, you can build pretty much anything, and I'll show you that too. So their freemium stuff is great. Once again, for contacting, I think they are a little easier to use than Pirate Forms. I'll show you really quick, but especially if you upgrade, and I'd really recommend upgrading. On this site, I don't have the upgrading thing, but if we wanted to add a new form, it's really simple to give you some great formats to just sync in there really quick. Yeah, and so you can do the simple contact form, newsletter sign-up form, suggestion form, and they're really easy to use. But you can also, they've got a bunch of premium templates too that I really suggest you use if you want to, you know, integrate with Mailchimp, stuff like that, or Aweber, whatever you use. You can go more, and you can code these customly too. But if you just look at like the simple contact form really quick, so you literally click this, and pretty much everything's done. But what I would suggest doing is beyond that, I would like really, you know, I don't like the name first and last. I really think you should just have simple. Why people put their name? It's what it is. Who knows if you can give their real name in the first place? Email and comment a message. This is what I like. Really simple. It's so easy. Everyone does it. Obviously, you need the email to respond to them. But that's basically all you did. And you can just edit the name of them, like nickname, or whatever you want to call it. But it edits it in, and then you just click this embed part, and boom, you copy that code right into your website. It's great. It works really well with Elementor. Same with Pirate Forms, they both well. And then Ninja Forms is the third one if you are dissatisfied with some of these functions. They have a little more, I'd say, on the freemium side, a little more free stuff than the premium stuff of these other ones. They're one of the good ones. Completely free except not, I'll be honest. But yeah, they have the 14-day guaranteed money with the add-ons, but they have a lot of add-ons, so they, once again, a lot of these can be coded. If you can code yourself, you can add a lot of these in. One other form I would like to do, oops. Is where is it? So I use, sorry, I installed plugins on this website. Is Mailchimp for WordPress. So if you use Mailchimp, it's a great form tool. It's free to use, and it will, if you want to have people sign up for your Mailchimp newsletter, you can integrate this with stuff, and it'll be right there. It integrates directly with your Mailchimp account, and you can have people, instead of having people email you, then you adding their email to the list, basically directly adds that to your Mailchimp roster. So that's a great plugin as well. But yeah, I would definitely, if you use Mailchimp, I would really recommend using this, Mailchimp for WordPress by Iberry Code, and it is a great plugin that literally just as people sign up, you can have like a sign up for newsletter part on your website, and boom, they input their info and it just goes straight to your listing on Mailchimp, so they're added right to your mail list. It is great. Beyond that, one other thing I would like to say is all the stuff you can do with these. Like you can use forums to do feedback. You know, have a feedback form after something. Questions. You know, you can really whatever your heart desires. Especially if you know how to code, you can really make these fancy. You can edit a lot of the colors and everything in all of these. If you go to the premiums in a lot of these, they will come with plugins and stuff that do that for you. But if you know how to code, you're kind of good to go already. You could even code a whole form yourself. You don't have to use one of these plugins. If you are on like Squarespace, for example, I know they have some basic forms at least, and I know they have monetary forms, depending on what level you're paying for, that you can just add into your website too. A lot of the other like Wix probably do too, but check those out. They're all great. But honestly, you really should have some contact forms on your website. That's basically what I'm going to say. But yeah, you want to really integrate these with your mail listings too. You want to be taking those emails, but be careful with the new regulations from the European stuff that you are letting people know beforehand if you're going to be adding them to your email list. Really shouldn't be a problem for most American people, but you could get punished by Google still if they find out you're doing that, just because they're watching their own back. Beyond that, I think that's about it. The only other things with contact forms is you might want to think about putting in like a CAPTCHA or something, like a little thing, you click the little box that like I am not a robot. Like they kind of like want to know, make sure you're not getting spam through. If you find yourself getting a bunch of spam through your message boxes, do that, put a little CAPTCHA in. It'll deter most spammers. And then make sure you're consistent with everything. Make sure you do all the back-end stuff. Make sure it's all coming through your mail. Do some test runs too. Make sure you go on your own website, fill out those forms, send them, make sure it's hitting your inbox or your Mailchimp account or wherever you have it set up, because if you put a form incorrectly on, people could be trying to contact you through there, and then it's just never getting to you, and that's not good. That takes away the entire point of the form. It's actually even worse because they think they contacted you, but you never got it. So really test it out on your own after it's live. Go to the website or get friends to test it out. Hey, can you like go through my contact form really quick? They'll go to your contact form, they'll enter it in, and hopefully it shows up in your inbox however you're receiving it. A lot of these forms also have on website, they'll keep a file of everyone that's used it, so you can check there too. But yeah, that is my brief video on contact forms. If you guys have any other questions, add them below. The only thing I would say is do you guys use any contact forms currently? What do you use them for beyond just a simple contact feature? Do you like do giveaways? I mean, and what do you prefer? Do you prefer using a contact form or just directly opening your inbox and emailing people? Let me know below. But yeah, all right, I will see you guys all next week. And sorry I'm a little late on this week's video too. You can always like and subscribe if you liked what you heard today. And yeah, I will see you guys next week. But yeah, thank you for coming out. All right, see you guys. Bye.